So look around. Right now, practically every organization is in this wild, chaotic sprint, right? We're all just scrambling to integrate AI into our daily workflows, deploying co-pilots, agents, automated tools left and right. But here's the thing. We're missing the bigger picture. We're treating AI like it's just some simple software upgrade. But in reality, it is fundamentally rewiring the entire architecture of how we work. To really make sense of this, we're going to dive into a fantastic 2026 white paper by Willem, E.A.J. Scheepers. This explainer is all about what he calls the AI-Barbell Framework. It's quickly becoming the absolute go-to diagnostic tool for modern organizations to figure out how work, value, and responsibility are polarizing, and dangerously so.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the AI-Barbell Framework itself, then look at the shrinking routine middle, dive into the risk of human hollowing, check out some real-world barbell cases, and finally, wrap up with designing a regenerative barbell.
All right, part 1, the AI barbell, polarization of work. Now, I want you to picture the visual metaphor of a barbell. According to Scheepers, AI doesn't just, evenly automate a tiny slice of everyone's job. Not at all. Instead, it acts as this massive polarizing force. It literally pushes the weight of organizational value out to two extreme ends. So over on the left side of the barbell, you've got scalable, AI-driven execution. We're talking high speed, standardization, fully autonomous workflows. Then, way over on the far right side, you've got human-centric impact work. That's where context, trust, ethical direction, and ultimate responsibility actually live. The weight is just pulling to the edges.
And to put this into perspective, there's a 2026 World Economic Forum statistic cited in the paper that absolutely nails why this shift is so urgent. Over a third, more than 1 in 3, of young workers are currently sitting in roles with medium to high AI exposure. And we're not just talking about clerical work anymore. Professional, highly technical tasks are moving directly into the crosshairs. So if you're a leader, the question you should be asking isn't, hey, what AI tools should we buy? But rather, how is this technology permanently altering the very architecture of our work?
Moving right along to part 2, the shrinking middle, the compression zone.
So looking at the breakdown of these 3 zones, we've got Pool A, that's automation and scale, on the left, and Pool H, human impact and judgment, on the right. But take a really close look at that middle layer, Zone R. This is the routine middle, and it is heavily compressing. This zone is full of tasks like coordination, initial analysis, basic control, and reporting. As AI gets smarter, it just absorbs these mid-level tasks. And keep in mind, a task doesn't actually have to vanish entirely to be compressed. It might just lose its economic margin, or its volume, or, crucially, its developmental value for the employee who's doing it.
To actually measure this compression, Scheepers introduces a brilliant little metric called the Barbell Index, or BI. The formula is super straightforward. BI equals 1 minus 2R, where R is basically the share of that routine middle work. It's a great way to ground the theory in a tangible number. But, and this is a massive warning from the white paper, the Barbell Index only measures the relative thinness of your middle layer. It measures polarization. It does not measure the qualitative success of your organization. Basically, a highly polarized company isn't necessarily a healthy one, as we're about to see.
Which brings us to part 3, human hollowing, the existential threat.
This threat, it's called human hollowing, and it's a big deal. When we blindly automate that routine middle, we aren't just cutting costs, we're actually destroying the vital practice ground where junior employees learn the ropes. Think about it. Routine work is where humans practice pattern recognition. It's where they learn to spot errors, understand weird customer nuances, and build the confidence to eventually take on real responsibility. If AI replaces all of that developmental work, and humans are just reduced to sitting there monitoring systems, you gradually erode your institutional judgment, your craftsmanship, and your overall organizational resilience. I actually want you to think about your own career phase right now. Look, if you're a leader, it's incredibly tempting to chase the immediate gratification of AI efficiency. I mean, short-term cost reduction, lightning speed, perfectly standard output, it sounds great. But the white paper argues that by doing this, you are taking on a massive hidden human capital debt. You're essentially trading efficiency for learning loss. You lose institutional memory, you de-skill your workforce, and you wipe out the practice cases your future experts desperately need to learn on. I mean, if nobody understands the process end-to-end anymore, what on earth happens when the AI gets it wrong?
Let's ground this in part 4, real-world cases, barbell in action. Take engineering and auditing, for example. In engineering, AI is rapidly taking over generative design and standard calculations. That means the human value is shifting entirely over to problem framing and stakeholder management. But the risk here is huge. You've got junior engineers advising clients without ever having built up that foundational, hands-on field knowledge.
And in auditing, AI is constantly monitoring data and spotting anomalies 24/7. So the human is just left to judge the materiality or the significance of the error. But if junior auditors only ever see the weird exceptions that the AI flags, they never develop a gut feeling for what a normal baseline actually looks like. We see the exact same dangerous pattern popping up in HR and customer contact centers. AI agents can easily handle the standard questions and routine routing. Awesome, right? Except that leaves only the highly complex, super emotionally charged exceptions for the human workers. Think about what that actually means for a starter. A brand new employee is thrown directly into a fiery, complex customer crisis without ever having practiced their basic communication skills on simpler, routine cases first. It's like we're ripping off the training wheels and expecting them to win the Tour de France.
All right, let's talk solutions in Part 5, Regenerative Barbell, Designing for the Future.
To fix this, Scheepers outlines a core sequence of interventions to build what he calls a regenerative barbell. First, you got to diagnose your current state using an AI barbell scan. Second, assess where you're at risk of human hollowing, like where exactly are your learning loops breaking down. Third, and this is absolutely crucial, intentionally design your new workflow using the Human Capital Allocation Framework, or HCAF. You have to explicitly decide exactly who or what performs a task, makes a decision, and takes responsibility. And finally, secure this entirely new design with rigorous governance.
There's a core principle from the source material that really hits the nail on the head. It states, technology dictates what becomes possible. Governance and design dictate what actually happens. Building a regenerative barbell isn't just about installing new software. You have to build an algorithmic psychological safety climate, an APSC. Basically, this means creating a workplace where employees feel completely 100% safe to question AI outputs, report errors, and dispute automated decisions without any fear of looking incompetent. Because without that safety, humans are just going to blindly accept whatever the AI tells them, and boom, the hollowing is complete.
So the most future-proof organization out there isn't the one with the thinnest, most automated middle layer. Not at all. It's the one that knows exactly how scale and human judgment can continually correct each other. So I want to leave you with this. What middle layer can your organization afford to lose, and which parts absolutely must be rebuilt today? I highly encourage you to go take a hard look at your own workflows through the lens of the AI-Barbell Framework.